Hey bro, today's video is about to be how to read. And you probably just think reading is just maybe looking at the words, maybe read a chapter or two, close the book, get done. But there's a lot more things that go into reading, so I just want to quickly go over them. This will be like a 5 minute video though. Alright, so to start with, you don't have to finish a book before you can start reading another one. Like you can start reading a random book and then you can start reading like another book when you're already halfway done with that one. Cause you don't have to read a book from first page to end. Like at first I felt uncomfortable doing that, but you can just skip over some chapters, some glossaries, some parts of the book if you want to, because you don't have to necessarily read the whole book to get what you want to learn from it. And if you're interested in a book, maybe you could just go check the chapters, look at the chapters and see which one is interesting, which one calls your attention, and then maybe those are the ones you could read. You can still read a whole book if you want to, but you don't necessarily have to finish a book before starting a new one. Like you can be reading 5 different books at the same time, depending on what your topics and interests are at the current moment. Like let's say I'm currently interested in reading books about money, right? But then I'm starting to get interested in books about social skills. I can pause on the book I'm currently reading about money and then read the book about social skills. So yeah, you don't have to be stuck to one book. So another thing about reading, if you want to read more, is majority of the times you didn't read is because it wasn't fun. Like I know for me, I used to always read like manga and any type of book because like I'd always like have a peaceful place to enjoy in the library someplace. Most people they're forced to read usually in class or usually at home reading a book that they don't like. And if you're reading a book that you don't like and you don't want to read at that time, forcefully over and over, you're gonna develop that habit of hating reading. Eventually, it doesn't matter no matter what it is. If you're forced to do something that you don't like over and over, you're gonna hate it eventually. So, so for me, what I try to do is once I pick a book that have a nice topic or interest in, I try to find a way to make the reading the book enjoyable. One example of what you can do, there's a lot of examples like you could put on some lo-fi music to help you calm down. It could be a more joyful experience when you have lo-fi music. If you want to use lo-fi music, you can maybe make some hot chocolate, some tea, a hot beverage, or maybe a snack that you can have while you're reading. Try to get somewhere comfy, like find a nice comfy chair, maybe lie on your couch or maybe lie on your bed, something comfy, and you can do whatever you want with it. So me personally, I can't really always order physical copies of books like every day. I'm not rich. So what I usually do is you can go on, if you have a phone, well, you probably have a phone since you're watching this, but if you have a phone, you can go to Google Drive and you can go to Google Drive and just go to Google, right? And whatever the book name you want to read, search up the book name and then PDF. Majority of the first links is gonna have it. So once you click on it, it's gonna show you like a plus with the Google Drive logo on top corner and right. You click on that and it should download the book. That's what I usually do. I have a lot of downloaded books. But if you want it, you can read the physical copy. Now, to some questions you probably might have or some things you're probably thinking, should I go on certain web apps or websites to get book summaries? The difference is book summaries and books are two different things entirely. Because even though I said, oh, don't read the whole book, and you like, if you don't read the whole book, you might as well go to the book summary. If I take two people, right, one of them just goes over a book summary of a book real quick, and one of them reads the whole book or a lot of the book parts that he enjoys. There's two benefits. One, your attention span is a lot higher when you read because you have to constantly focus on the words, and the more you read, the more you're gonna recall to the present moment instead of daydreaming. If you're reading a book summary, like I've tried book summaries, I don't know about you, but I could fall asleep listening to them because it's not really me doing anything but just listening and sitting there. But when you read, you're actively like thinking and actually studying the words and looking. So back to my example. If somebody's just reading towards if somebody's just reading audiobooks towards the person who's reading the full actual book, it's going to be a lot different because the person who's reading the actual book, not only is he going to spend a lot more time thinking about the topic, he has a way higher chance of putting into action what you just learned. Because if you just read an audiobook maybe 10, 15 minutes, you probably forget about it next day. But let's say I'm reading a book on money and I'm hearing him talk about this, and that every single day for hours and hours. My mind's thinking about that. I'm eventually going to start making progress and putting action towards that thing. And yeah, So that's why you should always just separate the line if you want to read audiobooks or if you want to read actual full books. So yeah, that's my description and guide for how to read books fully. Wait, no, actually no. This is a lie. We forgot one part: how to take notes on books and actually learn. So if you want to actually take notes on books and learn, a few things you have to do. One, you have to make sure that you have to, anytime you see learn something new or figure out or anything that changes your mind about the book, write that down on a notepad, like with your physical hand. Don't write it on something digital. Anything you want to take on note. Sometimes it could be digital, but writing it on the notepad will let your brain start to sit more. And you can never quote anything from the book. So let's say the book says something like, gratitude is the enemy of envy, right? You don't write that exactly down because you don't learn something. So you put it in a way that you understand. So you'd be like, being grateful helps you stop being jealous or something like that. So you understand it more. And then once you write all those notes, once you finish the book, you want to make a book summary. So once you have that book summary, you can always go over it. If you go to Notion, they have a list where you can put your book summaries, and it has like keynotes, takeaways, author, this and that. You can fill it and rate the book and keep that book there. It's a perfect way to summarize your books. That's what I personally use to make my book summaries, even though I've only made one. And uh, so another thing you can do is weekly summary. So let's say I'm reading a book, right? And I have these notes. I can take like 3 to 5 of the best notes from that book and then reread that on the weekends and every weekend to come, even when I'm done with the book, because it can just keep fresh in my mind about that certain topic. So having those are really good as well. And you can also review the books every year or every month, whatever you choose when you have the book summaries on Notion. Me personally, I like to try to read a book every week. I haven't been the most consistent at that, but I'm gonna keep trying to do that. And yeah, if this video helped you, just leave a comment, subscribe. I don't know why I couldn't place comments on the other video. It wasn't working for some reason, but my voice is a bit hoarse from talking all this much. So yeah, I'm gonna just see you again. Have a nice day, man.